Hi, it's Easter Sunday, 2023. I just get a little sweaty. I just got done riding. Uh, Not too much, 45 minutes on the indoor trainer. Um, Still not feeling secure enough to go outside and ride. Still a little worried about falling and, the effect that might have on my body with, having bone lesions and such. Um, was thinking a lot today about the beginning of um, my experience with multiple myeloma. Uh, you know, I was diagnosed in September, and pretty much between September and December was a very dark period for me. Had a lot of trouble dealing with the diagnosis and the thoughts of, you know, what life would be like extended or what life would be like short term. It's a lot of questions that you're going to have and a lot of thoughts that are going to go through your mind about what can happen to you and uh, what is going to happen to you. I had sorry feeling having a not so great day today. Head is really best I can describe it is thick. I get the medications that leave me on the weekends with these really um, high pressure feeling buildups in my head, my ears, and my eyes and things. It makes it a little difficult to deal with. But um, yeah, as I've mentioned before, my life before this has been very almost fairy tale in terms of health. I mean, I've never really had any health issues in my life, and so here I am, and I'm delivered with this news, and I just, I don't know how to deal with it. I turn to a lot of friends, uh, talk to some of my closest friends about you know what I was feeling and what I was dealing with in my head. The thoughts that have I done enough? What's going to happen to my family if I don't survive? What's my son, my wife, my stepchildren? It's just left me, as I said, just left me in a very dark period of time for a while. I started going back to church. Um, I started reading a Bible again. Started thinking about what life would be like if I wasn't around anymore for everybody. Um, and it just did not leave me in a very good place. It didn't help that several months before my diagnosis, I had gotten laid off from my job because of the economy, and uh, I had turned to started a business, real estate photography, full time, and then the housing market started turning down, and then my diagnosis came along. It was very just a very hard period. Everything combined, just really the weight on my shoulders just was enormous. Not to mention the fact that you feel like garbage all the time. Medications left me very tired, very cloudy. I had a lot of mental fog that was even made it even more difficult to get through. And I just had a really hard time dealing with it. And I really think the medication, um, just the cloudiness of the brain, just made it even more difficult to deal with because I really couldn't concentrate on any particular thoughts or any plans or any, you know, how things should be going. Um, I think it really started to clear up around the beginning of the year when my medication changed to a different um, mixture, and my head cleared up a lot, and it helped me think more clearly about where I was headed. Maybe the path didn't seem so gloomed as it did before. Um, I started thinking that, okay, I'm going to be dealing with this for the rest of my life. This is the frustration that started building in my head. Um, this is the norm for me now. I won't, have that feeling of being clear and what this is just going to be the norm for me now. I will always have this disease. It's never going away. It's going to be coming back. I just need to learn how to deal with that thought. I just need to learn how to come to grips with that reality, and that's I had been. Let me take a step back. Um, I've always been, as I've mentioned before, I've always been a cyclist in my life. Spent many, many years on a bicycle, chasing finish lines and such. Um, and I'd been riding up until my diagnosis and into the first period of my diagnosis. But then it started getting really hard around the end of the year, the beginning of the year. Um, Started a new job, was worried about the tiredness would be too much for me to handle. Working and exercising and doing treatments and everything else. So I decided to take a break from the exercise, and did not touch a bike or anything, walking, anything, any form of exercise up until just a couple of weeks ago again. And I think that had a lot to do with it. Uh, I think that the exercise and the thought of taking control of part of my direction, something that I can control. I can control maybe how I feel about my health as far as I'm contributing to it. So I started exercising again. I started getting on the bike and I started riding. And I do it. And, at the end of the day, after I'm done at my desk with my job, I get on the bike. It's only 45 minutes a day. Sometimes I can manage to get in 4 days a week. And it really seems to help the mental aspect of where I'm going. I feel a little bit better about myself, and maybe I'm taking control a little bit more of part of me and contributing to whether or not I'm going to be a healthy person or not for however long a period of time that's going to be. And I feel a lot clearer and a lot more focused in my life. And I hope, that continues. My hope is that I'm able to keep exercising after treatments and after transplant and be able to build the sort of foundation of mental and physical fitness that will make it a little easier to deal with how my life is going and how the disease is structuring my life. I go in tomorrow for testing for my transplant. I have a full day of tests, pulmonary echocardiograms, all kinds of labs, all that kind of stuff. And we'll be getting, the results of that. And hopefully that will land me in a positive place to do a transplant and be able to get started again in a better base level. So, kind of hope you forgive me for my rambling on about these things. It's what goes through my mind almost all day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week now. But hopefully the thought processes make life better. Well, thank you very much for listening to my rambling. I hope to see you next time. As always, if you want to learn more about multiple myeloma, I leave links in the description. So please have a good day.